do you think? Yes. Morning.
Well, come on, Finnegan, what's the matter? You on piecework or something? Come on, it's got 9 o'clock, man.
Right you are, sir. Going up! Oh!
What's that for? You're not ill, are you? What is it? Touch of the foot and mouth or something?
It's my stomach.
Oh, I know. He's been walking the floor with one of the little Finnegans all night, and he's contracted windy pops.
Oh, you're very funny, sure. So what you don't go on the television with a wit like that? Ken Dodded, and get a hell of a shout to your jokes like yours, wouldn't he? Milo O'Shea, but...
Well, of course I'm serious, Mr. Hunter. I wouldn't joke about a thing like that.
Well, what makes you think I'm the type? That's what bothers me.
Oh, every man's the type to get married sooner or later and settle down. Of course, I know a young man likes to be footloose and fancy-free, but that can't go on forever, can it?
No, but...
And after all, it isn't as if you was getting any younger.
Might I ask, as a very interested party, what brought on this flush of matrimonial enthusiasm?
Huh?
Why pick on me?
Morning, Mr. Finnegan.
Morning, Mrs. Torsby.
Morning.
Morning.
Lovely day, isn't it?
Oh.
What did you say?
Nothing, ma'am. Nothing at all. I beg your pardon.
How's that big family of yours? You did tell me how many there were, but
I have the same trouble myself sometimes, ma'am.
And you once told me what their names was, but
There's Brendan, there's Teresa, there's Tady.
Tady? Funny name.
Short for Thaddeus.
Bridget. Oh, God help us. Oh.
Oh, Mr. Finnegan! Oh, what's that bell?
No, it's the emergency signal. He's leaning on the button.
He's flopped out.
No, leave it, sir. It should open automatically when he gets to this floor.
Take him along to my office and make him comfortable.
Right, Mrs. Thursday. Lend a hand, will you?
I don't like the look of him at all. Seemed to come over queer.
Anybody got a piece of silk by any chance? A handkerchief would do, or even a scarf, as long as it's silk. Thank you. Would you mind? There's nothing clears them up like a rub with silk, I find. Couldn't see to read the wretched thermometer. Thank you. Practically normal. That's disappointing.
What's disappointing about it being normal?
He shouldn't be. Or rather, I was counting on a dramatic rise in temperature just then. Well, that's another diagnosis gone fut. All right, these stomach pains now. He's never complained of them before?
Well, I don't know. Would you know?
I've never heard him complain, Mrs. Thursday. He's a bit of a misery in himself, if you know what I mean, but sick, never.
Oh, well, that rules out anything like an ulcer turned critical. At least he'd have complained of heartburn or some such from time to time. I wonder if he's ever spent any time abroad.
Well, not unless he was in the Navy or something. I mean, he's got too big a family to go off gallivanting.
Finnegan, now tell me, does it ease the pain when I apply pressure here? Here then. It's no good, I'm afraid. He'll simply have to come into hospital for observation.
Observation? What for?
Well, I frankly don't know what's wrong with him. He'll have to have tests.
But how long's that going to take?
How long?
Well, I mean, he's the father of a big family. He's not going to be much use to his wife and kids in hospital, is he? Mr. Finnegan? Mr. Finnegan, can you hear me? It's Mrs. Thursday. Look, they're going to put you into hospital for a little while to find out what's wrong, see? Understand?
Mrs. Thursday.
That's right. Now, look, if there's anything you'd like me to do for you, Of course, I'll go and see your wife and tell her what's happened. But if there's anything special...
Wife, Holy St. Patrick, the kids, ma'am.
Yes, you mustn't worry. The doctor said you wasn't to get excited.
The kids, ma'am. I can't go into hospital and leave the kids.
No, don't worry now. I'll see they're looked after.
You will?
Yes, I just said.
I have your promise to that?
Yes, look, I'll go and see Mrs. Finnegan.
No, promise, ma'am. Promise.
All right, then, if that's what you want, I promise.
Thanks be to God.
Excuse me. Intriguing. Now, that's the sort of pulse rate you normally associate with severe psychological disturbance or a rapid descent from a high altitude. All right, thank you. I'll just organise something to calm him down for the journey.
Mr. Hunter, let's have the car round again.
Well, you've got a lot on, you know. Very tight. That East European trade delegation arrives at lunchtime. Vodka and caviar.
Yes, tight's the word.
Yes, and according to the arrangements, they'll be with us almost till they leave again.
Yes, well, I think I ought to go down and see his wife, just to make sure everything's all right. You see, I don't understand why he's so worried about his children. I mean, the way he begged me, made me promise. No, let's have the car round quick.
Will you shut up, Brenda? Katie! Now look, the baby's trying to back into those practices we've gone out with. Where's the Joker? To the back cave. Stop! Stage jump broken and there'll be hell to pay for it. I'll have it come out of the money enough for the paper round. What are you doing up in the sideboard, Brendan?
Batman is actually trying to bring me to justice.
Well, I'll bring the both of you to justice now if you won't get down out of it. Shut up.
Oh, where's the Joker? Has he escaped?
She's out of it.
Pretend I heave this brick. To make you think I'm on the other side of the cave. I'm sorry.
Can't you see now that stand to back it in? Mother and Nancy chucked that away from you and queer straight, good and proper. Now what if you broke, you little idiot?
It wasn't me, Teresa. Came from inside somewhere.
Bridget! Bridget! You're supposed to be helping me. What have you broke? I never broke nothing, but the pot's done. The pot? Someone's broke the pot? Timmy did, playing football like Bobby Charlton. So it's broke, is it? What are we supposed to do without a pot? I don't know.
Twice as good as that.
We have to take the young ones out the back every time they want to go now. Will ye all shut up before I go and get Dad's big scrap? You want me to step you?
Is this Mr. Finnegan's house?
That's right, love. Finnegan 14, Mortlake next door.
Thank you. Lovely morning.
And what are you doing now? Holy St. Ken's a great lake, but you're not in among the cold.
It's our black cat, Teresa.
Well, you can take that, and you can take that, and come out of the back cabin and do something you...
How many kids exactly?
5, I think.
Only 5?
Well, what are you yelling for anyway? You know you're not allowed in the cold to play. Anyway, it's time Brenda went off in his paper round. What's that? The knocker, Teresa. Go on, make him shut up. Be quiet. You will shut up as well. I'm not going to... No. Maybe it is better if you yell. Sure, it'd fit in better for what we got to do. Come here, you. Go on now, yell, I
Here, there is, love. Surely you can hear that. Come to take the telly back in style, then.
Well, what's so funny? We're friends of Mr. Finnegan. Come to have a word with his wife, that's all.
Friends?
Oh, my goodness. Oh, what's happened to you? Oh, is this Mr. Finnegan's house?
Yes, ma'am.
Is your mother in?
No.
Oh, where is she?
Please, ma'am, she's left us. And me dad's at work.
What? I see. What's your name?
Teresa, ma'am.
And this one?
Teddy.
Oh, Teddy, you're Teddy. So your mother's gone shopping, is that what you mean, Teresa?
No, ma'am, no, she's left us. Run off.
I knew there was something wrong. Too much noise in the house. I said to my Harry, I said...
Your mother's ran off? You're not having me on, are you?
No, ma'am, no. Teresa! What's up? Come quick, it's Brandon. He's up in the wardrobe and it's creaking under it. Can't you tell the little idiot to get down out of it? He won't.
What's going on?
You're busted, Brendan! Come on!
Oh, dear, I shall have to do something. Come on, Mr. Hunter.
Oh, Mother of God, Lion! Brendan's nearly through the top! You can't take that now. Do you want to burn down? No!
Look at that iron.
Brendan!
What's that on the stove? Oh, my goodness. Nappies. And the water's all boiled away. Oh, Mr. Hunter, come and take care of this quick before it all boils through. Look, we'll catch hold. Oh, look, put us in there and stand it in the sink.
Out of me way! I'll exterminate you! I'm a Martian!
You're a very noisy little boy. Now, stand aside, otherwise I may exterminate you.
There, that's better. Why aren't you children all at school?
It's holidays.
Holiday hurts. Never rains but it pours. And how could that baby? Haven't you fed him?
Actually, he's had his bottle. Dad says not to be playing around with good grub. You give him a feed and he gets
Oh,
home.
dear, I forgot your dad. Well, haven't you got anyone to look after you? No aunties, no grandma or granddad?
They're all in Ireland.
And you don't know where your mother is, where she's gone?
She just left.
Oh, well, we shall have to look into that later. It's what to do now. Well, I saw your father this morning, Teresa. You see, he works for me.
Huh?
Yes, in Dunwich House. I'm Mrs. Thursday.
Mrs. Thursday!
Yes, and, well, you see, your dad wasn't feeling very well this morning. It's nothing to worry about, but he's gone to hospital and the doctor's going to let us...
Teresa, it's falling apart! The wardrobe! Brendan's up there again!
Mr. Hunter! Oh, come on! In there! I don't know, you better do something. What's going on? I don't know. Are you all right, Mr. Hunter? Whatever happened?
It gave way.
Oh, well, get up, Mr. Hunter.
What?
We can't leave these children here. They'll have to come back. We'll have to sort something out.
Come back? Where?
Well, to the house, of course. What else can we do? And I did promise. He's going to help. That ought to be all right.
Yes,
Oh, cheer up, Mr. Hunter. Be a good experience for you.
that's what I'm afraid of.
Well, I mean, if you're thinking of getting married, you see. Teresa. I don't know what's wrong with that girl. She's been turning on the waterworks ever since she got here. And that baby's not as well as it should be, if you ask me.
Nothing wrong with his lungs.
Well, we'll see how he is in the morning. Oh, and you won't forget to phone the hospital, will you, Mr. Hunter, and ask how Mr. Finnegan is?
Finnegan, he knows where he's well off.
Oh, poor man, can't help being ill. Funny they don't seem able to find out what's wrong with him. You'd think these modern doctors would know, wouldn't you? Where are you going?
It's the office, of course. We're very late.
Oh, I don't think we both ought to be out, not with kids in the house. Oh, no, I think there ought to be a man about, Mr. Hunter.
Well, there's Bates.
Bates is driving me around. Besides, he doesn't know his head from his elbow. Oh, I shouldn't feel easy in my mind unless I knew I was leaving them in good hands. And after all, there'd been no trouble since they got here. You must admit that.
Making up for it now.
Here! Who done that? Come on. Out. Out, I said. Unless you want me to come and fetch you, and you won't like that, I warn you. Well, I'm waiting. That's better. Now then, what happened? And I don't want to hear no lies.
We was playing ball, Mrs. Dassel, and it got bust.
Playing ball in here?
Yes.
Where did I say you could play games like that? Up in that big room upstairs when it was raining, otherwise out in the garden. Now, you'll have to pay for this with hard work, you two. Yes? Now, you can scrub and polish the kitchen floor till I can see my face in it, see? Now, get that? See my face in it.
Yes, Mrs. Yes, Mrs.
Now then, clean up all this mess, and if you get into any more trouble, you're going to catch it, so remember what I said. They only want handling in the right way, Mr. Hunter, that's all.
Now, let's get this perfectly straight, Finnegan. You say it hurts you there now, right?
That's right, sir.
But yesterday you were more under the impression the pain was here.
Oh, there too, sir.
Well, how can it be in both places?
Lord, it just is. How should I know? It's a kind of overall pain, if you know what I mean, sir.
Yeah, at the moment, you're a puzzle to medical science, Finnegan. Your symptoms don't make sense. I hope you really are suffering these pains.
Oh!
Try the bed in the sitting up position, nurse. May bring him more relief.
Thank you.
I'll come back again in about an hour. Why, Mrs. Thursday?
Oh, hello, Dr. Birch. They said I might find you up here. How is Mr. Finnegan? Do you think I could see him today?
Well, I don't know.
Oh, dear. You mean you still haven't found out what it is?
Not yet. The whole thing is quite baffling.
Or perhaps he's worried about his children. He's very fond of his family.
I told him what you'd done. I told him they were in good hands.
Well, I really ought to see him. You see, there's all this business of his wife to sort out.
His wife?
Yeah, she's left him. Didn't you know?
Left him?
Scarpered, run off. Oh, I wish I could catch up with her. I'd give her what for, walking out on all them kids. Well, she hasn't been seen since Monday, the neighbours say. I mean, we've got to find out where she's gone. She's got to be told and made to see reason.
You'd better come to the office, Mrs. Thursday.
And then there's the relations, you see. There must be some relations.
Well,
so
we'll talk upstairs first.
I see, yes, well, we talk.
Mr. Hunter, their tea's on the table now. The children, I mean.
Oh, that's a blessing, so long as they're stuffing their mouths. Sound the gong, Sally. They're upstairs in the room Mrs. Thursday said they could play in. I'm going for a rest.
But I've got to feed the baby. It's long past time, and young Teresa's vamoosed. I can't find her anywhere. You'll have to see to their tea.
You out of your mind?
Well, you've got to do something, Mr. Hunter. All you seem concerned about is keeping out of the way. I've only got one pair of hands, you know. Cook's away and Bates is busy, and I'm expected to cope with everything. I'm not a machine. Time you did your fair share. I can't stand much more of it.
What are you doing in here? No, you're not allowed in this room.
Sorry, sir. I'll go to the kitchen. I won't come here no more.
Here, dry your eyes. Blow. Well, that's better. Now, stop this snivelling and tell me what it's all about. No, you keep that. Your need's greater than mine. What? Come on, what's it all about?
Did you ever feel, sir?
Feel what?
Did you ever think like...
Come on, get on with it, girl. Speak up.
I done it. I given the stew for supper. I poisoned me own father.
You did what?
I poisoned me father.
Poison him? For goodness sake, why? And what with?
What with what?
Well, it's not so easy to poison someone as you might think. What did you put in the stew?
There was these daffodil bulbs.
Daffodil bulbs?
I thought there was onions and put them in the stew. So the whole crowd of the kids was sick the next day. But my dad was too coarse, and he's in the hospital. Nobody knows what's ailing him.
Daffodil bulbs. Is this some sort of joke?
Oh, no, sir, no, honest. I didn't mean to do no harm. Ma always says I'm a good cook. She never has to worry about the cooking when she goes away.
When she goes away? You mean she's left you like this before and come back?
Well, I never knew she had gone like... not properly. I thought that was just the story.
The story?
Well, 'twas rent day, sir. The day you and Mrs. Thursday come. And my dad said that on rent day, if anyone knocked, us kids were standing at the door looking miserable and say, if you don't mind, sir, me dad's out working and me ma's left us. So as the rent man would go away, sir.
Finnegan's Wake.
Now, what are you going to do?
Make a telephone call.
You want to call the guards? You call them
It's
up.
all right, Teresa. I'm not calling the police. Do you know where your mother is?
Well, when she went on Monday, it was for a holiday to Cork. I thought same as every other year. But if my dad don't see
Oh,
it...
Dunwich House? Oh, this is Mr. Hunter speaking. Yes, will you put me through to Mrs. Thursday right away, please?
Why didn't my dad say she was just on holiday? There was always a row and man there, but I never thought that this
I shouldn't worry about that anymore, Teresa. Yes? She's where? Oh, well, if she's on the other line, yes, connect me. Yes, Mrs. T? Mrs. T, what's up?
There. I said that baby was sick, and I ought to know. I've had 4 myself. Now, look, Mr. Hunter, you'll have to get somebody in to lend a hand. Well, I'm at the hospital, and they're going to keep me here. Seems I've gone and caught the bloomin' chicken pox.
Hello. Oh, for heaven's sake. Oh, home help and service volunteers. Yes, I'm so sorry. I thought we'd been cut off. Yes, well, the simple fact is we need some help in the house here. Oh, usual things, cleaning up, cooking, looking after the children. How many children? What does it matter? Well, a few, let's say a group of children. Oh, yes, they're very quiet, well-behaved, model young people. I'm not shouting. No, don't ring off, please. Yes, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to be rude. Will you just let me explain? Well, can't you send anyone to help? I'm at my wit's end. You're the 12th organization I've tried in 2 days. Well, home help and service volunteers, universal aunts, family aid workers. I mean, your people refused to come because of the chicken pox. Oh, it's reduced by the chicken pox. Reduced? Well, I call that a bit thick. In your sort of line, employees ought to be permanently inoculated against that sort of thing. Yes, stuffed to the gills with anti-croup vaccines, mump resistance, penicillin, antibiotics. No, I realize the members of your association are no longer actively employed. The Retired Nannies Association, quite. And I'm virtually the last human being left alive here. Isn't there some kindly old lady who could leave her semi-detached to help a poor family in distress? No, we don't have facilities for getting bath chairs up and down stairs. Thank you. You've been so kind. Goodbye. Oh.
I poisoned him. He's sick in hospital, and nobody knows what's ailing him. I poisoned my own father.
I can hardly believe it, Mr. Hunter. Are you absolutely sure?
Yes, young Teresa told me so herself. She put daffodil bulbs in the stew instead of onions, and the whole family was sick the next day.
You seriously mean that all this time Finnegan has been nursing nothing more than a simple bellyache?
No, I wouldn't even have said all this time.
Sorry?
Dr. Birch, if you were the father of a family of extremely hearty young children, and your wife went away on her annual holiday...
Holiday?
Yes.
She swore to me she'd left him when I spoke to him of... Good Lord, it amounts to barefaced misrepresentation. I'll have a word with our resourceful Mr. Finnegan.
If you don't mind, Doctor, I thought I might do that.
You?
He may have presumed upon your patience and your hospital doctor, but he's given me housework hands.
Allow me. Oh, by the way, I thought you might like to know Mr. Thursday's clear.
Clear?
Yes, not chicken pox at all, it seems. Just a rash, a touch of urticaria.
Urti what?
Probably a bit of overwork. We'll be discharging her after a little more observation.
Just isn't your week for diagnosis, is it, Doctor?
Do you know what I had Finnegan down for, finally? Do you know what his outrageous symptoms at long last added up to? Javanese swamp fever. And it's very rare, Mr. Hunter. It would have been the first case observed in the British Isles. Observed by me.
See the runners and riders, which our studio king is ridden by Charlie Smith, and the brown, white and green cat. Hugh ridden by Billy Bishop. Tall white and got a white...
Oh, Lord. Oh, it does no good. Nothing helps a pain like this. Not even a bit of music. Hello, Mr. Hunter.
Palmy days you've got marked here, Finnegan. Palmy days for the 4th. You can't be serious, surely.
What?
Oh, my dear old Finnegan, Palmy days couldn't even win the donkeys races. It was fitted with supersonic carrots. It's one jump away from the soap factory.
Palmy days is as grand a little filly as ever came out of Killarney. By the Lord Harry, if you're trying to tell me there's anything on that field that can beat a horse like that, you're talking to your bonnet.
Yes, it doesn't hurt so much when you're on the business of the turf, does it, Finnegan?
Oh, no, Mr.
Oh, you
Hunter.
can cut the caper, lad. The jig's up. We found out your little deception.
Now, look here.
Oh, you were in pain right enough when you came in here, but that soon passed, didn't it?
Now, the only reason I asked Mrs. Thursday to look out for the kids that day was because I knew the wife was away and I thought I was dying. Honest, Mr. Hunter, if ever in all your born days you'd had a gut sake like the one I picked
As it
up, you
happens,
would've...
Finnegan, I've suffered in other ways. And it's precisely that I've come to see you about, yes? Do you know what you've done by your irresponsible behavior, Finnegan? Do you know what the effect has been on me? You've convinced me that the propagation of the human race is an evil thing. You've turned me so far against matrimony that I could cheerfully exterminate the next man to suggest I should choose a partner and settle down. You've practically driven me to becoming a Trappist monk. For all of which, Finnegan, I mean to exact a bitter and most horrible revenge. The silver lining when the sun appears in the blue. Remember somewhere. Hello? Oh, hello, Doctor. Oh, yes, that'll be fine. I'll have a car round the hospital at 3 o'clock. Fine, thank you, Doctor. Goodbye. Finnegan?
Sort.
You better be more careful with those plates, you know. I meant what I said. You'll work an extra day in this house for every plate you break.
It's white slavery, that's what it is. Flaming blackmail as well.
Oh, come, Finnegan. The choice is yours. All right, I'll go. Remember somewhere the sun is shining, and so the...
There now, is that one of them, Mrs. Parker? That's the one, right enough. He's the man, Mrs. Finnegan. I'd recognize them evil eyes anywhere.
Oh,
yes, and with his coat on, too. Just ready to make a quick getaway if I know anything. Here, you. Come and earn your money, so. Teresa? Patey? You've been rumbled, you have. You rotten kidnapper.
Kidnapper?
Oh, I don't think there's any punishment bad enough for a man who'd do what you did. You all right, love? Teresa!
Would you mind telling me what this is all about, officer?
Have you by any chance got 5 children by the name of Finnegan in this house, sir? I know it sounds peculiar, but that's their mother, and she accuses you of abducting them.
Abducting?
Teresa! Oh, Teresa, thanks be, you're all right. But where's the others? And the baby, Wait a minute. Signs of Grace, what are you doing in your nightie at this hour of the day?
Oh, now, look, this is all too silly for words. Officer, the only reason I brought the children to this house was... Or rather, the only reason Mrs. Thursday brought the children to this house was because...
I see, sir. So you admit that you brought the Finnegan children to this house?
Yes, you see...
Love, it does me heart good to see y'all again. But glory be, what's happened? What's all them red spots you're covered in?
Didn't you know Mary had the chicken pox?
Chicken pox?
Sure.
You mean he gave you that as well? What's up in this house, and what's your game, mister? You're not the mad doctor, are you?
Experiments on humans and vivisection. I've read about all that in the Sunday papers.
Mrs.
Come
Finnegan.
on now, own up. You can't get away now. And we'll catch the woman that's with you, too, no matter how well she thinks she's hiding.
Look, the only reason your children ever came to this house was because your husband's sick in hospital.
No.
What?
That's what the telegram I got in Cork said. Husband sick in hospital, children with kind lady. Come home at once. Kind lady. But Matt's not in no hospital because I rang up to find out, and he's no place.
No, he's not now, but he was when it happened, just at this moment.
Kate, go!
Oh, Matt, Dad, he hasn't got you, too.
Just a minute. Is this the children's father?
Yes, stupid, isn't it? How could I be a kidnapper with a father actually in this house? Doesn't make sense, does it?
No, sir, it doesn't, does it? Mr. Finnegan?
That's right.
What are you doing in this address exactly, sir? Am I to take it you're here of your own free will?
As a matter of fact, no.
What? I knew it.
He's holding me here by blackmail, if you want to know.
Now, look here,
Making me work and slave, and saying if I don't keep it up, sure, he'll see to it that Mrs. Thursday sacks me from Dunridge House.
Oh, Matt.
I knew he was a dirty crook the minute I clapped eyes on him.
And me so poorly. Dragged from a hospital bed I was.
All right, I think I've heard enough to be going on with. I shall have to ask you to come along to the station with me,
Now,
sir.
just listen a
I
moment,
shouldn't
officer.
say any more just now if I were
It's
you.
a tissue of lies.
Filthy kidnapper.
You lock him up proper, Constable.
All right, have it your own way.
Gotcha. Here, you two. Skip back upstairs to bed and stay there. Or I'll put your mum onto you. Here we are, Mrs. Finnegan. Here's the tea. And you'll be glad to hear I've been ringing up, and it's all right about Mr. Hunter.
Oh, that's grand. And what have they done to the poor soul, Mrs. Thursday?
Well, nothing really, except try to find out what happened. It's funny, you know, when you think of it. Him being carted off like that, that's not like Mr. Hunter, that sort of thing, not at all.
Oh, sure. And didn't we all stand up and say what an idiot the officer was making of himself? And didn't the kids shout out they was never kidnapped in their lives? And us all proclaim what a fine, upstanding man it was being carted off to the neck.
Now, Matt, dear.
Oh, well, anyway, it's all over now. Mr. Hunter's on his way home. Oh, talking of home, I suppose you and the children would be wanting to get back to yours, Mrs. Finnegan.
Well, that's just what I wanted to talk to you about, Mrs. Thursday.
Talk to me about.
Well, you see, I went home first thing when I got back from Ireland, and well, Mrs. Parker here will tell you. I know I couldn't ask you. Lord, you've done so much for us already.
Why, what's the trouble?
The house was flooded, Mrs. Thursday.
Oh.
Someone left a tap on upstairs and the whole place is damp and it'll take a while to dry out. So I just wondered, as the kids are still sick, if you know what I mean, and since they're here, like...
I see.
Oh, why don't you stay, officer? Perhaps I can interest you in the dead bodies we have buried in the cellar. Or the counterfeiting plant up in the attic.
There's no need to be sarcastic, sir.
Sarcastic? Me? Oh, come, officer. You started that. Kidnapper be all that's unlucky.
Good day, sir.
Oh.
Oh, you bet, Mr. Ansel. Everything all right?
You have a remarkable way of putting things, Mrs. T. All right is hardly the phrase I should have used.
Oh, well, I got some news for you.
Oh, yes?
The Finnegan children are going to stay on here for a few more days.
What?
Well, it's a bit complicated to explain. They can't go home just yet, so we got to cope with the 5 of them.
The 9.
Eh?
Yeah, 9 all told. Well, the 4 I took to Ireland with me. Oh, glory be, I never even told you about them. I said they were to stay out in your garden until I sent for them. Here, hold on. Patrick, Seamus, Sean, Fanula,
Mrs. Finnegan!
Nothing grows in our garden, only washing and babies.